Welcome to The Dose, your weekly hit of inspiration to fuel your confidence, tackle life's challenges, and live with purpose. I'm Dayle, here to share real stories, powerful insights, and practical steps to help you lead a life that feels true and empowered. Let's dive in. Your dose starts now. I was thinking today about how God holds us all together, and I was reminded of a time a few years back when I had a pretty rough encounter with a horse. I was riding around the arena in my lesson, and the horse I was riding suddenly got spooked, and I was bronco bucked off, flew over his head, and landed with a crash on the ground, hitting my head, breaking my collarbone, and pulling ligaments in my knee. It was a pretty nasty break, and after months of waiting for it to heal in my shoulder, the specialist told me there was no improvement and my collarbone was still broken quite badly. He suggested that I give it a few more weeks to see if there was any change, but if it didn't change, I'd need to have surgery to put a plate in to hold the bones together. Sitting in the doctor's office, I remember praying and feeling God whisper to my heart, "It's going to be fine. It's going to be okay." And then I saw a picture in my mind of Jesus holding my bones together with his fingers. The verse, "He holds all things together. For in him all things were created, things in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions or rulers or authorities. All things were created through him and in him. He is before all things, and in him all things are held together." It's a great verse. And it came to mind as I was sitting there feeling a little bit sorry for myself. And suddenly, as I meditated on that and really thought about that and visualized Jesus holding my bones literally together, I started to feel a peace. I walked out, arms still in a sling, but filled with a new confidence that Jesus was holding me together and it was going to be okay. And I was going to be okay. A few weeks later, I had a follow-up appointment, and to the specialist's surprise, after he looked at a new x-ray from that day, the bones had indeed reconnected and fused perfectly together, and I was given the all clear. God knows exactly what we are going through and offers his grace and mercy to us, and especially offers it when we need his help. When we have a request, feel like our lives are coming apart at the seams, or are in desperate need of a breakthrough, he invites us, especially then, to approach him. He says, "Approach God's throne of grace with confidence so that we may receive mercy and find grace to help us in our time of need." That's from Ep4, verse 16. It's a great verse to meditate on and to really think about. It's that God of the universe, says to us, you can approach me with confidence because my grace is enough for you, and that you may receive mercy and find the help you need in your time. When you're troubled, when you're wanting something to happen, when you're facing a medical emergency, financial relationship, or just want things to break through and open doors in your life, you can approach God and ask for his help. This word that the writer of Hebrews used is the Greek word boethea, which was originally a nautical term used by sailors. When a ship was being battered by a storm and at risk of breaking apart, the sailors would wrap the boat with ropes or chains to hold it together. Literally, those ropes and chains held the boat together so that it wouldn't fall apart in the storm. This act was called frapping, and it would strengthen the ship and keep it intact through the pounding waves. In the same way, God's love and his grace and his power, which are readily available to us, are like those ropes that bind us together. They're frapping our lives together so that no storm, no circumstance or situation or trouble can destroy us when Jesus is holding us together. That's what it means by he holds all things together. In him, everything was created. Before him and in him, everything is held together. From Colossians 1 verse 17. I encourage you, put it on your phone, write it down, stick it on your, in your journal. Remember that God is holding you together and he holds your life together. Whatever you may be facing, God wants you to come boldly to him. He promises to give you all you need to keep moving forward and overcome any difficulty or circumstances. So you can trust him that he's holding you together with his power and his love today. Have a great one, and remember, he's got you, and he's got this. Thanks for tuning into The Dose by Dayle Kinney. I hope today's episode left you feeling inspired and ready to take on whatever comes next. If you enjoyed this dose of insight and motivation, be sure to subscribe and share it with someone who could use a little encouragement too. Until next time, remember, live with purpose, embrace the journey, and keep pushing forward. Take care and see you in the next episode.